coming all the way from Haiti to your good parents, settling in the United States, starting from the lower end. Today, you are well known in the United States as a speaker and as an author. Welcome on board, Rich Fontaine.
Ooh, thank you, Farookh, for having me. I appreciate it, taking your time out of your busy day to have me on your show.
Thank you, Rich. This is the second time that you are coming for our program, which is called Ignition. You were there in Ignition 1.0, and you also shared your story in our book, which is Ignition, which became one of the best-selling Amazon books. Now it's sold in Walmart, as you know.
Yes.
Tell me, what are the changes that you made between our first interview and today? It's been around about 2 years.
Wow.
So what is the graph, and what are the changes that you made, not for only you, but the society, for your community, and the world in general?
Wow, that is such a great question. A lot of it happened in the last 2 years. I had what Deepak Chopra would call the dark night of the soul.
Mm-hmm.
I had a transitioning of just what I was doing. After the book Destiny on Purpose came out, I was getting a lot of attention.
Do you have a copy of that? Do you have a copy of that?
Yes, I absolutely
Sure.
do.
Could you just show that to the audience, please?
Absolutely.
Wow. Good. Excellent. Excellent.
Yes. But yeah, after that book came out, I spoke on Tampa Theater with Les Brown, and I was getting a lot of attention, which I can't even lie, I wasn't really truly ready for it, because I had a lot of people try to pull me in different directions, say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. But then I just didn't feel good and right about any of the decisions I was making, because they were based off of commerce and income and economy. Like, hey, you can make a lot of money doing this, you can make a lot of money doing that. Yeah. But I didn't come into this for the money aspect. I came to share a message. And when I started feeling that message was getting lost, I had to take a little step back. And just a lot of things that were working stopped working. And so I had to recalibrate myself, which I think is the universe's way of saying, hey, this is to recalibrate your focus and recalibrate who you are. And so you can be stronger for the next level. So you're not being pulled in different directions, that you can say no. I was having a little bit of problem saying no, even though that's one of my philosophies. I just really was excited for the experience. And I was like, oh, yes, I'll do your show. Yes, I'll do this. And I realized I was getting burnt out. And I was saying yes to a lot of things that weren't aligned with the mission. And so once I got aligned back with the mission, things started to change. So what I did was I had a big impact for kids. I have a big love for children. So I wrote a book for middle school kids called The Nerd Who Saved the Universe, which is
I saw it. Very good. Excellent.
A book right here.
Wow.
And so it's to help build self-esteem for middle school kids, because that was one of my missions. So I just wanted to get back to the mission. And doing that book opened up some doors as well for me. I actually got it in the libraries here in Florida. So that's really excellent and cool. And, selling on Audible and Amazon. So, I started getting back to the love of what I wanted to do, and that was to share a message. Wow. And so I started coming with that, started speaking at schools, and I did a festival for kids. And so I started feeling really back to what I was here for. And that was, I think, everything happens for a reason. And sometimes you go through rough patches to get you to the path that you're meant to be on.
Absolutely. Now, you are, by profession, you're an engineer, you're a civil engineer, and then you left that for good. And then you went behind your passion, your purpose, and your mission. Was that a good decision?
I think it's the best decision, because you cannot sell your soul for any amount of money or status for your principles. I realized that I was working for companies that did not match my integrity, did not match my work ethic, did not match my truth. And so I was just there, and I had to ask myself, why am I even here? I'm not happy here. You
Yeah.
know, I'm working with people that don't like me. I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a toxic environment. And why am I even here? I
Yeah.
had to really do some soul searching. And that was part of my dark night of the soul, because I left, you know, even though things were going well with the books and everything
Yeah.
like that, I decided to go back for engineering because the money's good, you know.
Exactly.
Let's just be honest. The money's good, but more and more I started feeling more depressed and more away from myself. And once I left that, I just felt this lift off my shoulder. And I knew, yes, I knew I had to grind. I know I have to push as an entrepreneur. I
Mm-hmm.
have to put in the work, which I call the warrior's mindset.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
But that came from making the decision,
Yeah.
because most people say, well, what are you going to do? And they want a cushion.
Yeah.
But they call a leap of faith for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It is literally a leap
Yeah.
of faith,
Yeah.
and that you're always going to land on your feet. And
Mm-hmm.
ever since then, always when I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know where we're going to get the money, you know, how we're going to pay things we need to pay, and it always ends up working out. Always. And it's just a testament to the glory of the universe and how the cosmos truly has your back when you make a decision and you're willing to go after what you truly want with no excuses, no hesitation, and with a warrior's mindset.
Very nice. Uh, there are a lot of people rich just like you who have taken a profession. There could be doctors, lawyers, engineers, and so forth. And they do have somewhere within them, the child within them with a passion, a purpose, and a mission, but they never take the risk. What is that one statement? I won't use the word advice, but what would be that one statement that you would like to share with those people who have a dream, an inner child within them to follow their dreams, but they have the fear of failure? What people would say, what the world would say, what would be that one statement from your side?
The one statement, I would say just one word, regret.
Mm-hmm.
Regret. There's so many people I've met older. I mean, I love, even when I was young, I always was around people that are older than me. For some reason, I like to peel off their wisdom. I like to take from their life experience to know, okay, what decisions can I make
Mm-hmm.
by watching others? Because I can see the decisions that they made and their results.
Yeah.
And so that's how I kind of, you know, equate my decision making. And I met so many elderly people full of regret of all the things they could have done. Of, man, if I only took a chance, man, if I only tried. And even, you know, my own parents, you know, my father did everything the right way, everything the right way. My life is a rich dad, poor dad book. It really is. My dad did everything the right way. I mean, he went to
I
school,
can understand now.
college. He was a physician. He taught at schools. I mean, he did everything the right way. And now he's approaching retirement, and he's still trying to figure out how he's going to live off retirement, because the money he made, even though he was a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
was still not enough for him to actually live on. And he's like, well, you know, I have Social Security. Social Security is a joke. And even if he gets a pension, they only pay you $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Farookh, I'm telling you, I don't know about you, but I don't know if I could live off $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Honestly. And because the amount of things and lifestyle they're used to, they cannot maintain that same lifestyle at retirement. And so I look at that and say, and he did everything the right way for that same reason, because he thought it'd be a financially smart.
Mm-hmm.
He said, okay, well, this is the standard. People go to school, they get a job, they get a 401k, they get a pension, they get a gold watch, and then they die. And so that was his plan until he reached that plan. He started to think maybe this wasn't the best decision. And I see those regrets in his eyes. And I say, I will not let that be me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have kids, I want my kids to say, my father's a warrior. My father's a champion. He looked at danger in the eye and he went straight forward. Because I feel like that's the legacy I want to have for my family, is not, we don't shrink to circumstance, but we grow through circumstance.
Wow,
And
that's very powerful.
And I believe that's truly what it is everyone's gonna face this. Trust me.
Exactly.
And I was listening to a Diddy speech, and he said everyone's gonna face this. Everyone that's willing to take the chance is gonna be sitting in a dark room by themselves, asking this question, man, what am I gonna do now? And it's so true because I had that moment. I left the business, and my wife, we were preparing for a wedding and all these things. And I'm sitting in my room like, dude, what am I gonna do now? But either that breaks you or it makes you stronger. So only thing just increased my work ethic. People ask me, why do you do a live every single day? Because it increases my work ethic. Anything I can do to get myself out there, let people understand this message that I'm trying to provide, I'm going to do. I'm even thinking of doing 2 or 3 a day, morning, noon, and night, just because at the end of the day, you have to say, either I'm going to let something stop me, or I'm going to breathe that unstoppable force that lets nothing get in its way. And I'd rather choose the latter than the former.
Sure. I know that you have been trained and coached by some of the world-class trainers and coaches like Les Brown. Now, after having your first book and for the past 1.5 years, who did you seek help for? Or did you go for a coach? Do you think that there is importance for a coach still after reaching to this celebrity level? Still, do you require a coach? How important is it for having a coach in your life? Well, you need to have a coach in different areas and segments of your life, but I'm talking about your profession, what you are right now. Do you require a coach? And if yes, who are your coach?
Wow, great question. I'm trying to find the best way to answer that. I do believe you need coaching. I didn't go to another live coach.
Okay.
Many of my coaches from I started my journey before I met Les Brown, years before I met Les Brown. And it started with coaches like Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, and listening to these gentlemen. See, some people listen to these speeches and like, oh, that's a great speech. I dissect these speeches. I literally write my own dissertations on these speeches, just so I want to break down, I want to fully understand what they meant when they said what they said. And I use those as my coaching. I listen to those speeches. I still listen to a speech every single day, religiously, because I listen to the tonality. I listen to the pauses. I listen to when they drop a joke and they laugh. I listen to their eye contact and the control of their breath. I pay attention to all of it because I'm a student. And I don't care if I'm 100 years in this game, I'll always be a student, because I feel like that's how you grow and expand yourself. Because I go for mastery. I believe if you're going to do anything, and let your audience, if they're going to take anything from this interview, let them take this. If you're going to do anything, go for mastery. Because the only reason you know Socrates, Plato, Michelangelo, all these people that lived centuries ago, the only reason you know them because they were masters of their craft. In a time before social media, a time before newspapers, CNN, NCNBC, BBC, before any of those things, you still know their name. Why? Because their names ring bells. People in Africa knew who Socrates was. Why? Because he was a master. And I feel like if you become a master of your craft, it doesn't matter what you do, they'll find you. They'll find you, they'll come knocking on your door and say, hey, we want what you have. Because again, there's a lot of people doing what we do, but there's very few masters.
Rich, tell me, what is your next project? Do you have any books to be written, or you're just happy with the 2 books that you have written till now?
No, actually it's 3 books.
Oh, great.
The 3 books. My first one is actually The East Side. It was a romance novel. It was my very first book that was published from a publisher. Okay. But I have my 4th book, Right to Grow Rich.
Really? Okay.
Yes, Right to Grow Rich. And if you go onto my Instagram, that's Right to Grow Rich, right? The number 2, Grow Rich on IG. I'll send you a free PDF of my book where I teach you how to write, how I write so many books. I'm actually going to have my 7th book done by the 4th quarter. Okay. So how I write so many books. I have a writing schedule, which we also have available that you get off my website. So it keeps you on track and on target. So many times, many people have many books to come out of them, but they never write it. They never publish it. They never do anything with it. And by the time they do write it, they meet, like I did. I met kind of a greedy publisher that kind of dragged me through the coals. took a lot of the income, and I was doing a lot of the work. So I decided to start my own publishing company, which is Power Self. And now I teach people how to write, how to publish, how to market, which is the most important. We spend many times on this book on the marketing session, because Tony Robbins said this: there's only two things in business, only two: innovation and marketing. So if you don't have one or the other, you don't have a business. And so we talk, so many authors, I have tons of books, but they're like, I don't sell any books because you don't market your books. And so we teach you how to market, we teach you how to run a business effectively, so that way you can actually make an income and career by being a published author.
Wow, so powerful, so powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, Rich Fontaine.